I mean, China has made such a mark on this preseason. I know you guys been taking questions about jet lag and stuff, but is there a point where I heard China?
Yeah, today is officially the last day we're going to talk about China, at least me. And today, maybe not coincidentally, is the first day where I felt like our guys were actually here, present emotionally and physically. The last couple of days we were sleepwalking. Clearly the time change, all that was a factor. Today, early in practice, we were still kind of running in boots. And about halfway through practice, it was like the light went on and we were scrimmaging and felt like the speed and the pace came back. So I think we're hopefully over the hump and, no more questions about China from here on.
Javale described waking up at a weird time and then in return taking naps at weird times.
Yeah.
That
I haven't been taking naps on purpose. I'm trying to avoid that. And I'm really tired at night, and then I lie down in bed and I stare at the ceiling for 2 hours. So it's just, I don't know. It's just been really a tough re-entry for me.
Everybody practiced today?
Excuse me?
Everybody practiced today?
Yes.
You felt like this team's been able to sort of switch into regular season mode, that they're clearly...
Not yet.
Not yet?
Not yet.
When do you think that flips after
we'll
Friday's
see.
game?
We'll see. Tomorrow will be a good game for us. We'll see what happens when we get going. I'm not worried about anything. Last year we got beat by 30 points on opening night and we won the championship. So no matter what happens, it's not going to really be a barometer or anything like that. It's more, this is a long haul and we're trying to get our sea legs and whether it happens Tuesday night right away or a week later or 2 weeks later, we'll get there organically. We're not going to force anything.
What is the plan for tomorrow night as far as minutes and everything? Is it still about conditioning even this close?
Yeah, we'll get a feel. We'll probably play the first half like we will on opening night. And then I'll just get a feel for how guys are doing and conditioning-wise, and we'll see what happens in the second half.
Draymond said he stepped away from the game a little bit more than normal this past offseason. Do you think that's helps him be a little bit more rejuvenated heading into training camp?
Yeah, I mean, we talked about it with our guys at the end of last year, like just go away, go do something fun, keep your body in shape, but maybe put the ball down. It's emotionally exhausting to go to the finals year after year and exhilarating at the same time. And so we have to navigate that path. And I think Draymond had a great practice today, huge energy. But it's going to be something that we monitor all year. And as I've said, if a guy needs a night off, we'll give him a night off and we'll figure it out.
Do you have an idea when you guys want to trim down the roster? I know we're getting close.
Tomorrow night after the game, we will, yeah.
Do you have an expression for that? I think Steph has referred to it as filling your cup.
Yeah.
Recharge. Does that come from?
Yeah. Originally that came from Greg Popovich. He used to use that all the time with our team in San Antonio, and I stole it from him, like I've stolen a lot of things from Pop. But filling up the cup is a great expression. It means something different to each guy. To Steph and Andre, it probably means going to play golf or having dinner with the family at home, or getting out. For Clay, filling up the cup is taking Rocco down to the park and throwing the ball to him, and it's different for each guy, and whatever that means, that work-life balance is huge, just like it is in any profession, but especially here where there's a lot of pressure and a lot of judgment. It's important to get away, and we recognize that and we encourage it.
Hey Steve, last year Luke credited you a lot for having this team bonding events and guest speakers.
Walton?
Well, yeah. Is that something on the horizon this year as far
Yeah.
as that goes?
Yeah.
What do you have in
Whatever we can do. Like the other day, we had Roger Federer come into the locker room in Shanghai. It was amazing. That we didn't even know he was there until that day, and we were lucky enough to arrange it through the Nike people. And next thing we know, he's in our locker room. Like, that's a perfect thing to do as a team. But we can't plan for all that stuff. We can plan for some of it, so we've got some things on the horizon that we're going to do, and just try to keep it as fresh as we can.
Is there kind of a common theme with that as far as what you want the guys to get out of it?
Not necessarily. Like last year, we just had a ping pong tournament just to get away from practice. This year we're going to go see a movie before the movie is premiered. We're going to go do that as a group and have kind of a family day where guys can bring their kids and wives to the movie. And not going to share the details of what movie it is, but try to do stuff like that occasionally, or just give them the day off and tell them to go do their own thing, whatever it is we feel like they need. But we do try to bring interesting people in, whether it's Roger Federer or Michael Lewis came in last year. I've talked to Malcolm Gladwell. I'd like to get him in front of our team at some point this year. That's kind of in the works if we can make it happen. So anything like that is just fun, because otherwise they're listening to me all day and for 9 straight months.
How was that ping pong tournament last year?
It was really fun. We went into the city. There's a really fun ping pong bar. I can't remember the name of it. Spin. There it is. Clay won the players tournament and talked a lot of trash. He even said to Federer the other day, Federer was taking questions. He said, I said, any of you guys have questions? And Clay goes, yeah. How's your ping pong game?
China Clay.
And China Clay.
Has a little bit of unbridled confidence.
That's right. That's right. Here in Oakland, he wouldn't have asked anything. But in China, yeah.
So then they have the tournament or the match?
They didn't have a match, but Federer said his ping pong game's pretty nice.
Yeah.
Clay said, so's mine. So there was it felt like there was a little bit of a challenge there.
Coach, on something else on basketball moves, how they always change and they're reintroduced. Like guys are doing the step to the right.
The travel. Yeah.
Well, I do say that.
I can say it. Yeah.
The Euro step as well.
Yeah.
Aside from that one, I know how you feel about that one. Are there other moves that you've seen guys kind of start doing over the last 10 or 15 years? You're like, man, that wouldn't have that wouldn't have worked, or that would have been a violation.
Yeah, I mean the two that the league has really had to look at from last year are the 3-point fouls where, I'm dribbling and you're guarding me and I grab your arm and flail my arms and we give the guy 3 free throws for no apparent reason when it should be an offensive foul. There's that one, and then the other one is same concept, maybe a dribble handoff, and you're chasing me and I catch the ball and just And I think all of the coaches are in agreement that, excuse my language, but it's a play, right? It's like it's one of those plays. Like if you did that on the playground,
You get smacked.
you'd get smacked. There'd be 9 guys looking at you like, "Come on, man!" But you do it in the NBA and you get 3 free throws. So the coaches have all talked to the league. I think the league's going to do a good job of cleaning those plays up. We have to have some common sense. What's a basketball play and what's not. And when the players are doing a great job of fooling the refs with non-basketball plays, we need to adapt. We need to adjust. And I think the league is going to do that. We have to do a better job as players of not reaching, because that's where it really gets tough for the officials. If I reach and you grab my arm, it's like you watch it on replay 5 times, it's like, it's a tough play to call. But those are the kind of things. Players in this league are incredibly smart, and they know how to, kind of manipulate the game a little bit. And I think it's the league's job to not allow that manipulation, keep the flow going, and just, make guys play basketball.
The other one that I guess they're emphasizing is you close out too close.
Yeah. Yeah, and I'm fine with that. The league's been protecting shooters pretty well over the last decade. When I played it, you didn't get protected as a shooter. Like if you release the ball, the defender was allowed to hit you right in the arm after the release, or run into you even. The league changed that, which I think was smart. You protect the shooter. What we are most interested in as a staff is that's fine. You got to give the shooter a place to land, but that means we got to run to the side of him. If we're going to challenge shots, a shooter, you got to run to the side of him. And our whole thing is if a guy pump fakes and jumps 3 feet to the right into your path, that has to be an offensive foul. Otherwise, there's no way for us to challenge a shot. And that's going to be tricky for the referees, and that's one of the things they're going to be looking at. And we talked about that at the coaches' meeting as well, and it'll be interesting.
Steve, I'm curious how you've seen Steph change. You just look at kind of his entire career, and obviously since you've gotten here, it goes from kind of a guy who couldn't stay on the court to now just superstar. And now with Kevin here, it seems the national perception, maybe Steph's not getting as much respect as he did when he won those back-to-back MVPs. He looked really good in the preseason. Looks like he's primed to have a really big year. How have you seen him change emotionally, and how have you seen his game adjust in this kind of new role?
I think Steph is at his absolute peak right now, physically, emotionally. This is probably as good as he's ever going to be this year. I think he's better now than he was last year and the year before, and that's saying something.
Yeah, that's incredible.
He is the most impactful offensive player in terms of what he does to the defense. Maybe ever. Like, there's guys, obviously, Michael Jordan impacted things, but the way Steph plays puts the fear of God into defenses like nobody I've ever seen.
Is that gravity?
It's gravity. It's nobody's been able to shoot off the dribble from 35 feet in a normal setting. But he does that, which changes the entire game. So everything we do revolves around Steph, and you can talk about where he stands in terms of the best players in the league. He's obviously one of the best. By that standard, he's the best. If you want to just say who affects the game the most offensively, Steph's the best player in the NBA. But there's different ways of measuring that stuff. From a two-way standpoint, if you like the two-way guys, maybe it's Kawhi Leonard or KD or LeBron because they're bigger and stronger and they can protect the rim or whatever. Steph is an excellent defender, though. He does not get the credit he deserves. Like there's a lot of guys in the playoffs who are great one-way guys. Steph he's a two-way player. He gets his hands on passes, he deflects the ball, and all you have to do is just look at the impact he makes every time he's on the floor for us to know that everything we do, everything we run offensively, the other guy's ability to make plays, Sean, Andre, Draymond, it all starts with Steph's gravity. And then what's amazing about Steph is that what continues to add to all that is his personal character and his unselfishness and the way he approaches the game. Like his usage rate is maybe 30th in the league. I don't know exactly, but he could easily be like, why don't I have the ball? I'm the best offensive player in the history of the game.
He could shoot it from 35 feet every
We could
time
run
if he
high
wanted
screen
to.
every time, but he understands the power of the group, and he understands that Sean and Andre and Draymond and Zaza and David are all great passers, and as a group, collectively, we are a better team when everybody's sharing. And so that's what makes Steph amazing. I've said it many times. He reminds me so much of Tim Duncan in that he's got this incredible package of skill, arrogance, and humility. That's a weird combination.
It's weird, but it makes sense.
But it makes sense, and the result is this powerful force that drives our entire organization.
Do you think that just because his game is so different, you can argue that he revolutionized the NBA in a way?
Yeah,
but
I
that
think
maybe
so.
that we won't understand just how impactful he was, not only to this team but to the entire league until it's kind of all said and done.
I think so. I think the way I kind of look at it, I'm a little biased because I was in Phoenix. I think Steve Nash changed the way point guards saw the game.
Okay.
Before Nash, you had the more traditional point guards like John Stockton, who were just amazing, but more like point A to point B, execution-wise. Nash came in and he was like this freestyle guy who was like would see plays and create plays, and then still shoot threes, right? And Steph, I've talked to Nash about this, since he's here a lot. Steph is like Nash on steroids, right? He's like faster and quicker, and he's shooting from 35 feet instead of 25 feet. So I think Steph has kind of followed in Nash's footsteps and really taken it to another level. But you're seeing a lot of the young guards who are.
That's about that.
Yeah,
that you see the not just the Nash, but now the Curry mold.
Yeah, shooting from deeper. Teams are even. What's that?
Some shouldn't be shooting.
Yeah,
Some
no,
should
that
not
is
be.
absolutely
Some
true.
should not be. But you see teams like Houston now are like they're saying, all right, we're going to space the floor to 3 feet beyond the three-point line
Right.
because that's even harder to guard. I never thought I'd see that, but I think Steph has played a role in that, and so
Yeah.
guys are actually practicing deeper shots. So there's no question he's making an enormous impact on the game, and he's changing the game. But I do think it's more a byproduct or a continuation of Nash and the way the league changed with the rules and opened up with, four men now being able
Totally.
to shoot, and so you got more space to work with on the floor.
Still pretty good to be one of the bookmarks in the NBA.
Pretty
history.
good and really good to coach one of the bookmarks.
Yeah.
in the NBA, so.
Now, that's what I heard a coach say before. You mentioned Houston. He mentioned how you guys sometimes will start your offense way beyond the three-point
Yeah.
line, and it's making it impossible to guard.
Right.
What is too far to start your offense when you do have KD, Clay, and Steph?
Yeah.
out?
Well, I mean, we use like a half-court high screen a lot, and it's amazing. Like you watch film, and we watch obviously film constantly, and you'll see how teams are playing Steph. I've seen teams hedge on Steph at the logo. Like crazy.
Well, can you blame them?
No, I can't blame him. And so, that's why, whenever I think about what we're doing, and we try to be clever as coaches and create advantages, and it's like we could run this crap for anybody else and it wouldn't matter. It wouldn't work. But for him, and so we're so lucky we're able to create different things in our offense that would only work with Steph that just stretches the defense out and makes life miserable for them.
Crazy.
So in other words, we will not be trading Steph Curry. So mark that down. Thanks
Steve.
everybody.